Hello and welcome to Fun Facts with Mrs. Vito. Today we're going to be looking at the strategies that the North and the South used to win the Civil War. So at this moment, take your time, go to section 2 in your notebook and go ahead and keep that page up. You want to be writing down what I'm writing on the board. Now I miss you guys terribly. Hope you're having a great day at school. By the way, shout out to Andrew and Law and Ryan Perkins. Barrett, stop playing whatever game you're playing right now. All right, so I hope that you're already there on your notes. Let's look at some strategies that the North and the South used to win the war. Let's first look at the strategies that the North used. Because it's the North, I'm going to write in blue. You don't have to. One of the first strategies that the North used to win the war was something known as blockades. Blockades around all major southern ports. Now, we briefly talked about this yesterday in class. Why would the North want to put blockades around the South? The South was still trying to get cotton and other imports and exports overseas to Great Britain and France. And so by the North blockading all of those southern ports, they were essentially cutting off the money supply to the Confederate Army. The second strategy the North had to win the war was known as the Anaconda Plan. Don't laugh at that. I know you are. So in the Anaconda Plan, they wanted to capture the Mississippi River and they wanted to split the Confederacy. So if they capture the Mississippi River, they would split the Confederacy by leaving Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana stranded. So you need to know they want to capture Mississippi, split Confederacy, strand Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. They wanted to cut off some states from the Confederacy by capturing the Mississippi River. Not to mention, by capturing the Mississippi River, they would have access to a lot of other states. Now, the third strategy that the North had was they wanted to capture the Confederate capital, which was, did you say Richmond? Because that's the answer. They wanted to capture Richmond, which was the Confederate capital. And lastly, I hope you can see these. Yeah, I think so. Okay. They had a two-fold plan. Now, when I say it's two-fold plan, it's going to kind of be like, duh, but it was a really good two-fold plan. So here's what the plan was. Two-fold just means that there were two parts to this plan. One was to destroy soldiers in battle. So basically, to win any war, you need to kill more people than they've killed on your side. That doesn't sound like a strategy, but it actually is. So that was part of the two-fold plan. Number one, destroy Confederate soldiers in the battlefield. And number two, lay waste to the land. If they laid waste to the land, then Southern supporters would stop supporting the war. Why? How did Southern people make their money? Did you say land? Because you should have. Land is how they made money. They grew crops. And so if the Northern soldiers laid waste to the land, then Southern supporters would get tired of it because they just took away their economic value as well, and they would stop supporting the Civil War. How would they lay waste to the land? Now, we haven't actually talked about this yet, but can you tell me how they might have laid waste to the land? You are correct if you said Sherman's March to the Sea. So you want to know that they accomplished this by Sherman's March to the Sea. Now, again, we will look at this more when I get back. We're going to look at what Sherman did to the South and how he completely, utterly destroyed everything that the South was about and everything that the South had built up. Now, the next one we want to look at are Southern strategies to win the war. I'm writing in red now. But not that one. All right, some Southern strategies to win the war. They wanted to, they wanted to wear down, they wanted to wear down the Northerners' support by killing as many people as they could in the battlefield. Duh, that is kind of what war is about, sadly. So, they wanted to bring high casualties. Now, the second thing they wanted to do is the Union, like we said, they set up blockades. So the Confederacy wanted to set up something known as swift raiders. Now, a swift raider, what it would do is it would capture a Union merchant ship and it would distract the blockade. Okay, so we want to say swift raiders to capture Union merchant ships and distract the blockade. So these swift raiders would basically go through, try to get through the blockade. They would capture a Union merchant ship. And so a swift raider would capture a Union merchant ship, and by doing that, the blockade would have to go over and try to help that Union merchant ship. A Union merchant ship would have just been selling anything, than taking goods anywhere. And so they had the part of the blockade had to go. They had to basically help that Union merchant ship. And so while they were doing that, a blockade runner in a small boat could get through the blockade. And so a swift raider was used to kind of distract and be a decoy to the blockade so the blockade runners could get through, sell cotton to England, and get back home. At that time, you could make thousands and thousands of dollars by being a blockade runner or a swift raider. Now, number 3, ironclad ships. And submarines. Surprisingly, they had submarines in the Civil War, and so they wanted to use ironclad ships to break through submarines to go under the blockade. Ironclad ships were a ship literally covered in iron, so you could ram it into another ship and not sink your own ship. That was another strategy of the South. Now, the very last thing was number 4, King Cotton diplomacy. All right, so what was King Cotton diplomacy? I'm going to break it down I'm not literally going to break it down, I'm going to break it down in a few steps. So this is what happened. The South thought that Great Britain and France really, really needed their cotton. And so if the North was blocking the South from delivering cotton with their blockade, the South thought for sure that Great Britain and France would be hurting economically because they weren't getting the South's cotton. So the South thought that this would motivate the French and the British to join into the Confederate cause and help fight in the Civil War. It actually didn't work out for their good, but that was the thought process behind King Cotton diplomacy. So, blockades, this is simplified, blockades would hurt France and Great Britain economically. Am I going off the screen? Okay. It would motivate them, by them, I mean France and Great Britain, to join Confederacy. And then overall, the South would win. These are the strategies of the North and the South to win the Civil War. Now, when I get back, we will look at and see who used their strategy the best. And we'll eventually see, I hope you don't know already, who won the Civil War. Spoiler alert, I'm not telling you. One other thing I want to give you is some homework. Oh, goody. Now remember, your homework is not due until I see you again, which is going to be on next Monday. Some of you in your classes, you did not get through all the battles of the Civil War. That is completely okay. We will finish doing that when I get back next Monday. I hope you have greatly enjoyed this fun facts with Mrs. Futo. Now, for the most fun part, your homework. Let me pull it up really quickly. Of course, I have minimized it. Hold on just a second. This homework, you're going to be looking at the resources between the North and the South. Actually, I remember it. I don't even need to look it up. You are going to be looking on page 390 of your Georgia History textbook, 390, and there's going to be a chart in there. And what I want you to do is pick several resources from the North and several resources from the South and kind of compare and contrast those. Tell me like how many soldiers the North had versus how many the South had, or what the South had more of than the North. I want you to pick 3 from each side and compare and contrast and tell me how you think that is going to affect the outcome of the war. Even though you may already know the outcome of the war, pick 3 on both sides and tell me how you think that's going to affect the overall outcome of the war. I miss you guys already. I hope you have a great and fabulous week. And happy Good Friday off and happy early Easter. I can't wait to hear what the Easter Bunny brings all of you. Have a great week.